Hey everyone, welcome to my weekly messages. I'm Jelaila Star. I'm just trying to make certain this video is working. I got a house full of people this weekend, so I'm having to do my weekly message in my room. So that's kind of what you're getting a glimpse of here. Okay, so what is today's message? Today's message is called When Missions Change. The reason for this message is because I've gotten a lot of emails lately from just lost starseeds. They know they have a mission, they either haven't started it or they don't know where they are if they have, or they don't understand why maybe they were busy and now they're not busy, and they think maybe they failed in some way. So anytime I get several emails about the same topic, I kind of take that as a sign that that's something I'm supposed to write about. So that's why I'm writing about it this week. Okay, so when missions change, and they do change, you don't have to get flipped out. Even though, when I was going through it, I used to get flipped out too, and there was a lull in between phases or assignments. But anyway, I think it's probably a good idea to just to outline what a mission is like, or how missions change. So I'm going to use my own mission as an example. So let's kind of start from the beginning. My mission began in 1996, and I gave it a name. I called it Project Earthshift. Actually, that was a name that was given to me. And what that means is that it was a mission about helping Earth shift in a positive way this time instead of destroying itself. Now, why would I say that? Well, from the galactic history that it was given to me, it looks like this isn't the only time that humans have have had a homeworld. And in the previous time, there was 3 actually. Since our inception in the Lyra system, we've destroyed 3. So this time we wanted to get it right. So we're getting a lot of off-world help to get it right this time. So as I understand it, I and many, many others came here to assist in the changes, to assist with the shift. And in my particular mission, my job was to help create templates. Now, let's explain that for a second. A template is like a blueprint, and it occurs when you create a way of doing something. For example, the 100th monkey syndrome. When one monkey starts to wash a potato a certain way and the others follow suit, eventually you get what they call the 100th monkey syndrome, where all of a sudden all the monkeys are doing it. Now, how does that happen? Well, with the advent of quantum physics, we now understand we have what is called a mass consciousness grid, and every thought, every action is recorded in that grid. It's another way of saying what the Eastern philosophy, in basic Eastern philosophy, is called an Akashic records. We have our own, Earth has an Akashic records, and everything is recorded in the Akashic records. And from a religious standpoint, it may be called the Book of Life. So every time that people do something, it's recorded in the grid. Now imagine if you take a group of people and they all make the same choice and perform the same action at the same time based on the same belief. That's a pretty powerful template. A good example of that is harmonic convergence in 1987. I mean, it just set the stage for this last phase of Earth's grand experiment. Kind of kicked it off. So my job was to create templates, and the templates were in regards to the events that occurred on those other homeworlds, which have to be played out here, but this time to a better conclusion. Now, why would that be? Well, as far as souls evolving, when a world is destroyed, you can't just leave it. You have to do something with the timelines. And you have to give those souls a chance to try again. So you have to weave the timelines into a current world so that the souls can move and incarnate on that new world and play out those events again, this time to a better conclusion. It's like learning to play golf when you keep playing the game until you get a perfect score. So we are attempting to do that now. But we need templates to help us, because if we can get templates where we can recreate the events, at least on an emotional level, and play them out to a more compassionate conclusion, that template is then in the grid, and then when that time comes, we our souls will unconsciously access that, and we will make better decisions at that time. So that was the goal of my mission. So I spent the years from 1996 to 2006 doing major template making around the United States and into Canada and even into Mexico. So it was pretty cool. All right, so at the end of 2006, I was in a lull phase. I was in a phase between phase 1 of my mission and phase 2. But I wasn't bored during that time. There was a lot going on, and I see it in hindsight how perfect it was. But back then it was pretty crazy because I didn't know what a lull was supposed to be. I thought somehow I'd failed and everybody had abandoned me, but they hadn't. So what happened during that lull? Well, that was when I felt very impulsed to write the second book, Mission Remembered. And because now I was able to have a lot more detail, I was able to flesh out the skeletal view of the galactic history I had written about in the first book. At the same time, I'd been through DNA recoding, and I had been living using these higher dimensional tools for 10 years. So I was able to, through my writing, show what happens to a human being when they start to embrace multidimensional concepts and live and make choices that way. I wasn't perfect, but I certainly had grown a lot. My heart had opened more, and I felt more compassionate than I used to be, and I was more peaceful than I used to be. The other thing is that it gave a perfect example of what a mission looks like from beginning to end, including the good, the bad, and the ugly. So for people who were looking for examples of what a mission is like, Mission Remember was a perfect example of that. So but the other things that were going on were pretty awesome. Like in any mission, there's always rewards for doing your mission because that's in keeping with universal law of giving and receiving. And the two of the things that I wanted was to get my daughter back, whom I lost at the time of the mission. As it began, I lost her because I became an outcast, and it was a mess. It was very painful. And the other thing is I wanted a home. I was tired of renting. I was tired of being a vagabond. I just wanted a home of my own that I knew I didn't have to leave again. So at the end of my mission, I got both. All right, so then came phase 3. Phase 3 began in late September of 2007, which is about the same time of year that the first phase began. And this phase was about preparing people for 2012, when the planet would cross the galactic equator into what we call the photon band, which is basically the energy of a supernova star. And we would be in this band of energy for about 1,000 years. But because it's neutrino, it's high vibrating, pro-evolutionary, anything that we carried into it would manifest exponentially. So all the good inside of us and all the bad would be, whoa. So then everyone's about dump, 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 purge, purge, purge. You get rid of as much of that as you can before you cross into that field, because it's going to make what you carry is going to really drag on you on the other side. So that's what we focused on during that time. And then at the beginning of 2013, phase 3 began. And the focus of phase 3 now is about, now that we're through all the template making, we're through, we've crossed the galactic equator, we're in this high vibrating field of energy, and everything is manifesting. How do we keep our balance? How do we learn to live multidimensionally? Because this field of energy is multidimensional, and we must learn to think multidimensionally and live multidimensionally to be comfortable in it. That's why you're seeing people check out right and left. People are dying right and left, but there's another thing that's going on. People are manifesting mental illness. If whatever they purge, it's gonna get them now. And so we see that mental illness is an epidemic. And that's why I focused a lot on mental illness and depression in particular since 2013. And what I've learned is that depression is a tool of the body, and if you learn how to use it from a higher perspective, it can help you purge and get rid of some of the old stuff that you carried here with you, so that you can move a lot faster. So living multidimensionally, dealing with depression, and at the same time working with star seeds, because a lot of them are awakening now, even more so. And a lot of people who had been awakened before, but they went back to sleep. They're now being brought online, and they're kind of questioning, where do I go now? And these are people in their 50s and 60s. So I'm doing that, and then thrown in there is a little bit about Nibiru here and there, a little bit about current events, but that's really the minor part of my work because, like the Nibiru said, you know, you guys you've done amazingly well, and Nibiru's not going to be an issue. So that is my focus now. How long that takes, I don't know. How long that will carry me, I don't know. Oh, and recently, this is the new one. I've been giving a new assignment. The new assignment is it's time to rebuild the site. So I'm like going, oh my God, the software that I've been using for 18 years, they haven't updated it in years. There's no more phone support. There's not even any email support. So I have to go in another direction. And I'm being guided to go to Mac instead of PC and go online to build it so it can be built from any device. But now, guess what? I need a template. So that's where we are now, building the new website after 18 years. It has become kind of a monster. So if you are struggling with your mission, if you're trying to understand how missions work, maybe this will help you. If you'd like more detail, go back and read Mission. Remember it. I think you'll get a great understanding of what a mission looks like. So until next week, hang in there, be well and wonderful, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.